What's up guys, this is Rise and welcome to a special video. So today I'm going to be taking you through my draft cup run in the OsMo PvP draft. Basically, it's the same as any sort of sports fantasy draft if you do any of those types of leagues. All of the Pokemon are on the board, they're all available to pick, and you end up with a team of 6 after 6 rounds, and everyone competes in a tournament with an all unique team. So we're heading into game number 1 straight away. Round number 1, game 1, we're hit with the worst lead possible, Altaria versus Bastiodon, so we swap into our defense Deoxys as a safe switch, and they meet us with a Stun Fist. So this is kind of an annoying matchup because Deoxys is so tanky, and it can't really do anything to Stun Fisk, and Stun Fisk is very spammy, so a lot of charge moves are going to be going back and forth. But we do manage to actually take advantage with our Psycho Boost that we're using. So because we have Psycho Boost, we're gonna overfarm a ton, and they're expecting probably a Thunderbolt or a Rock Slide. We're actually gonna shield this because we have a lot of energy built up, and we're gonna be able to get to 2 Psycho Boosts. Excuse me, we actually go for the Rock Slide first. And perhaps this is so they're still not expecting the Psycho Boost, so we draw a shield, and then we go for the Psycho Boost. And will they commit both shields? They commit both shields. So now, even though we lost that switch-in matchup, we have a shield advantage. We're gonna send in Altaria just to absorb these discharges, and then we are going to get out as soon as we can once Bastiodon comes in, and we're running double fighters in this line of 3. So here, the reason I go for Power Up Punch instead of Foul Play is because I know with the vamped attack, after this Foul Play goes, by vamping up the attack with Power Up Punch, we'll be able to get pretty close to taking out this Venusaur with Foul Play. It might have been a little too close for comfort, as the Venusaur was probably only 1 or 2 Vine Whips away from another Frenzy Plant. But it worked out for the best, and now no matter what Bastiodon throws at Scrafty, Scrafty's going to be able to take that pretty comfortably, and then these counters are just going to do so much damage. Double super effective against Bastiodon. Even a Power Up Punch took out a good chunk of health. So GG in game number 1. We managed to pick a pretty good team. I put my picks in the graphic in order. Altaria was my first pick, Deoxys second, Lantern third, Scrafty fourth, Shadow Victory Bell number 5, and Lapras was my 6th round pick. So Lapras is pretty good. I mean, Lapras beats Azumarill, and I got it with my 6th round pick. Pretty crazy. Game number 2, perfect lead. Let's not screw this up. Scrafty versus Bastiodon. What are they gonna switch into? Venusaur. Okay, we don't have like a hard counter for Venusaur, and my Scrafty matches up so well against Bastiodon. We're gonna switch out. We send in Deoxys sort of as a safe switch because Deoxys can handle at least 1 Frenzy Plant, and we do have Psycho Boost. Unfortunately, we don't click the charge move before they get to another Frenzy Plant, so we have to burn a shield. Then we're just gonna go for a Psycho Boost. Probably could have gone for a Rock Slide in this situation. I'm not sure Psycho Boost was the right call because now our attack has been debuffed. And if we had gone for Rock Slide, we still would have been able to get to a Psycho Boost. So probably not the best play on my part, but we do draw Shield anyway. Now what are we gonna go here? We know Scrafty has a great matchup in the back against Bastiodon, so we're gonna go in with Victory Bell. Victory Bell is very glassy. It might not be able to survive whatever this is. It does. And then they switch into Bastiodon, so we're in pretty good shape here. We can just use straight Power Up Punch, farm up a bunch of energy, and hopefully have a Foul Play ready to go against that Sableye. Yeah, man, Scrafty is easily my favorite Pokemon to use in PvP. It's not always the best in Go Battle League because it doesn't do well against Azumarill, it doesn't do well against Altaria, but there have been times where I've literally taken out full teams with my Scrafty. I'll probably upload those videos at some point. I have one game recorded. I'll probably just upload it in like real time, a short little fun video where Scrafty takes out an entire team, because I think the whole team, or at least 2 of the 3 were weak to fighting. We're heading into game 3. In these Sylph tournaments, you play 3 games no matter what, even if someone wins the first 2. So we've already secured a place in the second round. Well, everyone plays 3 rounds, but we've already secured a win this round, and now we're heading into game 3 just to play it. And we've got an interesting matchup. Moonblast we have to be really careful of with this Cresselia, because Moonblast will pretty much one-shot a Scrafty. We switch into Victory Bell to catch this Moonblast. Because of Victory Bell's poison typing, that fairy type move is resisted. They switch into their Venusaur. Venusaur is going to be resisting these Razor Leafs, so it's not going to be doing all that much. And we decide just to let it go because we have our Altaria. And Altaria will be able to farm up a ton of energy. I might go for a very aggressive farm down. I do shield the Sludge Bomb because I know he'll probably be able to get to 2. And Sludge Bomb does quite a bit of damage, as you'll see here. It'll take about half health away from Altaria. But now we have almost 2 Sky Attacks ready to go for whatever comes in. Sableye comes in. I know I have a Foul Play stored, and that's going to do a lot of damage to a Sableye. So I'm just going to go straight for the Foul Play. And I know now I'll be able to beat Cresselia to a Foul Play. Will they decide to use their last shield? They do. And we are out of shields, so this Moonblast will likely take us out. Boom, double super effective. That's Scrafty's main weakness, is those dang fairies. It's double weak to fairy. And because we farmed up so much energy, Altaria gets to 2 Sky Attacks. This should be enough. Oh, it's just barely not enough, but we can Dragon Breath down. And Sableye, can we get to the Sky Attack? No, we cannot. So whatever this move is, we'll take out our Altaria. It's a Power Gem. They were adding insult to injury with that one. They could have just gone for a Foul Play probably. But good games in round number 1. We took 2 out of 3, so we get the win for the round, and we will be heading on to round number 2. In the graphics, I also put my opponent's team, so that will switch now. And this team is pretty solid. Azumarill, Skarmory, Alolan Marowak, Meganium, Steelix, and Melmetal. I know they have 2 Pokemon that are really weak to Lantern, and they have 2 Pokemon that are really weak to Scrafty. So those are 2 Pokemon that I'm probably going to be running with. I do have to be careful that Lantern doesn't get matched up against the Meganium, because that would be bad. But this opening matchup, Lantern versus Steelix, is really interesting because my Sparks are doing reduced damage and a Thunderbolt will do barely anything. So it's all a matter of the baits. And of course they call our bait correctly. So now we look dumb that we went for the Thunderbolt and not the Hydro Pump. They go just straight Earthquake, and they can do that now because they're going to be ahead on energy since we pretty much wasted a whole charge move. Now we go for the Hydro Pump, and of course he's going to shield. And we know that they're going to get to an Earthquake before us. So I tank it with Scrafty. And Scrafty is such a tanky Pokemon that it's going to... Well, actually, that still did a whole heck of a lot of damage. And the fact that they're not switching is kind of interesting. We're just going to go straight Power Up Punch, ramp up our attack, and we can counter down. They send in Azu. They should have really switched into Azu straight away. That not doing that could end up costing them this game. We're just going straight Power Up Punch and trying to chip away as much as we can. And we just barely get to a Foul Play, so that's great. That'll take out just a nice chunk of health, and every little bit counts. So Scrafty, look at that, is able to get Azu down to less than half health. And we have a great answer in our Lantern. Unfortunately, they get to this charge move first. Will we be able to survive? It's a Hydro Pump. We just barely survive with a few HP, and that's another crucial, very close situation because that Thunderbolt will take out the Azumarill, and it's a final matchup, Alolan Marowak versus Lapras, and because Lapras has access to Surf, it's going to be super effective. It's going to do a lot of damage, and Lapras will be able to take out this Marowak. I'm really liking using Lapras. It only takes 4 Ice Shards to get to a Surf. It's pretty quick. It beats Azumarill head to head because it has that Skull Bash, in which it also vamps up Lapras's defense every single time. So Lapras, another fun option to use. We take game 1 in this 3-game set. Let's see what we decide to do for game 2. Are we going to swap our team around at all? We're going to just swap the lead, and we're going to switch out Lantern for Victory Bell. Interesting. That's a really weird move because Victory Bell is only going to be good against Azumarill. So we're being pretty dang risky by subbing in our Victory Bell. And of course they run Skarmory this time. So we're just going to try and get to this Acid Spray to lower the Skarmory's defense. I don't really know what I was thinking by running Victory Bell, because Victory Bell has very few good matchups against his team. And if we had our Lantern, like, that would have been perfect for this Skarmory. But we are going to probably save our shields for our Scrafty. This Surf, because Skarmory has been debuffed so much, will do quite a bit of damage. About half health. I expect Melmetal to come back, and whatever Melmetal throws at us is going to be super effective. So we're putting all of our faith in a Scrafty with 2 shields, hoping they have a Steelixin back, and they're not switching, so maybe we have a chance. I know they're going to hit us with a superpower. That's going to do a lot, so we shield. But no, it's an Azu in the back. But here is an amazing example of how amazing Scrafty is. So Scrafty, like, is dominated by Azu, right? Right? Well, let's see how this plays out, because it ends up being a little bit closer than you might think. We draw the shield with the Foul Play. If we had actually gone for Power Up Punch there, oh my god, this could have been pretty close. We go for Power Up Punch here. It's not going to do very much damage at all, but I mean, we're staying in, we're trying our best. We're going to use our shield because any charge move at this point will take us out. We build up to a Foul Play, and we go for another Power Up Punch, trying to draw the last shield. And this seems like a lost cause, right? But no, they sub in Melmetal. Melmetal is out. We're going to get to this Foul Play after our attack has been vamped up so many times. Will this be enough? No, they survive with 1 HP, and they have a charge move. So check that out. It looked like all hope was lost, right? Scrafty versus Azu, and we were able to make it like that close, like 1 counter's worth of damage. Still separated, so we're all tied up at 1 in round number 2. We're heading into a game 3. The winner of this game wins the round and goes on to the championship. And I realized, like come on, Chris, like, why would you use Victory Bell? So I sub back into that original team that has quite a few good matchups. I'm gonna lead with Scrafty, hoping for maybe the Melmetal again. What do they lead? Azu, so not a good lead. Can we recover? We're just gonna get in some counters worth of energy, and then we're gonna try and catch the charge move. We safe swap into Lapras. We have to be aware that their Azumarill has quite a bit of energy stored. Now, whatever this Melmetal throws at us is going to be super effective, but we're gonna let it go through. Again, we're gonna try and save our shields for our Scrafty. Another Surf. This one gets shielded, so we do draw a shield, and we're just gonna let our Lapras go. I presume we go in with Scrafty, just straight Power Up Punch. No reason to go for Foul Play here. Does a lot of damage, and we can counter down. Now we're gonna try and switch into Lantern as quickly as possible. And look, they're running Skarmory and Azu, and Lantern just wipes the floor with both of these Pokemon. So they try and bait us with Ice Beam. No, that didn't work. And yeah, we're in a great position here. Lantern really hard counters Azu, especially if it's not running Play Rough. You guys have seen from some of my other videos, I love to use Lantern in my Go Battle League team because of how good it matches up against these two Pokemon, Azumarill and Skarmory. And we get the fortune of a Lantern in back facing off against Azumarill and Skarmory. And our opponent knows this is pretty much over. And we just put in Scrafty so he can finish off, just because I like Scrafty so much as well. So good games in round number 2, and with that game 3 win, it means we are heading on to the championship round. Interesting team with Sunny Cherum, Gallade, Alolan Raichu, Nidoqueen, Banette, and Alolan Sandslash. So props for such a spicy team. We have to be really careful of whatever this Gallade is running, because if this Gallade is running Charm, it's going to do a ton of damage to Altaria and Scrafty. So that's what my main concern is. This Sunny Cherum, we have to be careful of the Solar Beam. We correctly shield the Solar Beam, which is great. And yeah, we won a great lead early on with the Victory Bell versus the Alolan Raichu. And now we are just going to go straight Surf against this Alolan Raichu because there's no need to go Skull Bash. Alolan Raichu is already so glassy as is that Skull Bash would just kind of be overkill. We switch at the same time, and this is pretty much what costed me the game. What may cost me the game, because now we pretty much wasted our Shadow Victory Bell, and Scrafty could have handled the Alolan Sandslash, and then Victory Bell could have just Razor Leafed off the Alolan Raichu. But unfortunately, they are going to get a Wild Charge through, and they're going to get a second Wild Charge through right as we get to a foul play. And because of my swap, it costed me game 1 of the championship round. So we're down 0 games to 1. Let's see if we can come back and win the championship. Based off the title, you guys might know the answer already. But we're heading into game 2. The Scandium, he's part of our OsMo PvP group. Make sure if you want to play battles with me, you join the Discord link down below in the description. So a pretty interesting lead. I'd say it's probably a favorable lead for us because these Ice Shards are going to do so much damage. But if we don't correctly shield the Solar Beam, we're in a lot of trouble. And then they do bait us with a Weather Ball. I decide to go for Surf because now they'll either have to let their Cherum go or use a shield. They do shield, and the only reason they would shield, right, is if they can get off a Solar Beam. So I'm going to commit both shields. And unfortunately, this is the one where we timed together. So I undercharged the Surf. Unfortunate that we had to use that energy, because I undercharged, it gave us an extra Ice Shard worth of energy. Now we're just going for straight Surf. Their Raichu is out of shield. We get to another Surf, which is huge. This will put Raichu very low. And we go into Victory Bell, and the quick Razor Leafs are able to take out Raichu before it gets to a charge move, and that's huge. We still have our Scrafty in the back, and Scrafty will be able to just counter down for double super effective damage against this Alolan Sandslash. So in a good position here, we take this win, and now it all comes down to an epic game 3 showdown. Who's gonna take game 3? Well, whoever wins game 3 ends up winning the championship. So this one's for all the marbles. The OsMo Draft Cup coming down to an elimination game 3. What are we gonna do? We're running with the same exact line. Lapras is relatively safe against their team. We're met with an Alolan Sandslash. Okay, I know Sandslash has Avalanche and Bulldoze usually. We're just gonna go straight Surf because It's neutral versus Skull Bash would be resisted. I know whatever this is, it's not going to do a ton of damage. It's a bulldoze, so we can take that bulldoze pretty comfortably, and we're going to get to these surfs a little bit faster than they can get to a bulldoze. And this surf puts it in good range where we can pretty much farm down. I know we can survive whatever this is, so we're just going to let it go through, and we win switch advantage. They send in their Cherim. I'm trying to get to a Skull Bash, and luckily I just get to a Skull Bash. Will they decide to shield? They do, so a great shield on their part. But look at that, those ice shards still took out almost half health. I'm putting in Scrafty because I know that Weather Balls were going to do a ton of damage to Victory Bell, so I couldn't really afford to put Victory Bell in there. I'm going to let a couple of Weather Balls go through, but I can't afford to let another one go through, really. Do we decide? Yep, we decided to commit a shield because we're not exactly sure what's in back. We're thinking maybe Raichu, maybe something else. And it is Raichu, so we're just going to go straight for a foul play. This would pretty much one-shot the Raichu if it goes through. They use their last shield, and now we just come in and can Razor Leaf down. So just like that, Shadow, Victory Bell, Scrafty, Lapras, they were my last 3 picks. And my last 3 picks ended up being the MVPs of the championship. So that's the beautiful part of the draft, is you have such a wide variety. And my 4th, 5th, 6th round picks ended up being my most valuable ones that ended me getting me the championship. So thank you very much for watching. I enjoyed making this video. If you like this content, make sure to hit that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe to this channel, and share this content with your friends. I'd very much appreciate that. I'm posting videos pretty much every night at around midnight US Central Time. And with that said, everyone have a great rest of the night. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.